We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WarWolf Podcast. We have an interesting show for you today. And, ladies and gentlemen, we fucking got him. We got the little fucking Keebler Il Fauci.
Not only did we get him, but being held in contempt like that, so he's got one of two options. Either he gets to go spend 6 months in jail, or he gets to actually say some shit in front of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Marcy, it's a great time. Just a little heads up for the viewers. This episode might be a little interesting because there is a 9-month-old in the background who will be joining us, and she will be giving commentary as well. So expect it.
Yes. Well, I expect her commentary to be at the very least at the level of the average DSAer at this point.
Yes, with how smooth her brain is, unfortunately. Yeah, I say DSA equivalent.
Well, give
It's
Marcy
funny.
some time; she'll learn.
I do want to say she understands I'm making a joke about her whenever I call her smooth brain, and she is like, yeah, that's me every time. It's hilarious. But yeah, so Fauci is good and roasted at this point in time. The spit roast will be legendary.
Yes.
Now the issue I do take with the situation, and this isn't with a particular notion of him, being held in contempt of court or anything. It's the fact that this is going to be used by the captured medical community to start ranting and raving across the board to be like, oh my God, they're going after doctors. And it's like, yes, we're coming after you little shitbags that, you made a shit ton of federal money and grants and in subsidies and whatnot during the COVID days, and you abused the fuck out of that system, and we're coming for you.
Yes.
Well, and also another thing too that we need to add in, especially in regards to some of the stuff Fauci did, wasn't that stuff like on par with what the Joseph Mengele did?
Two beagles, yes. He absolutely was the Joseph Mengele of beagles. Unfortunately.
Well, so here's the thing about the whole situation regarding the animal experimentation and whatnot. You're not going to not find somebody from his era of like when he was like big in the research side of things. You're not going to find anybody in that era that doesn't have some animal research shit about it. It's the fact that the beagles were abandoned the way they were that makes it 10 times worse.
Yes.
Because I don't know if you guys remember it, but you remember that incident, like it was probably like 15 years, 20 years ago now at this point in time, where one of the big shampoo brands abandoned like 30 or 40 monkeys in a research facility, and it was only discovered by accident because some kids went in there and were snooping around.
Yes, I remember that.
Remember that whole situation?
No, this is the first time I'm hearing about that.
Oh yeah, early 2000s, mid 2000s, somewhere in that region, like 2005 or something maybe. There was a research lab where a shit ton of monkeys were abandoned after a shampoo company closed down the facility, and nobody handled where the monkeys were supposed to go. They just left them. And the only saving grace for some of those monkeys was the fact that they're chimpanzees, and chimpanzees will cannibalize.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with that at that point in time, those chimpanzees then have to be put down because once they get a taste for their own, they tend to continue trying to eat their own. So.
It makes sense considering how chimpanzees are in nature. I can only imagine how much worse it would be if kept under laboratory conditions.
Yeah.
But no, the point is at the end of the day, you know, you're not going to find somebody from his era that doesn't have some skeletons in the closet when it comes to animal testing. It's just the fact that, again, the facility he specifically worked at, they just straight up abandoned the beagles. Now,
Mhm.
what is a bigger point with this, in my opinion, is the fact that he literally didn't want to say jack fucking shit
Mhm.
initially.
Yeah.
And somebody literally sat down and was like, you at this point in time, given what we know from his journal, which if you guys aren't aware,
Mhm.
his private journal was published online.
Yeah.
Somebody found it on accident. And it's literally a case of, at this point in time, that more than likely this dude doesn't want to talk because he doesn't want to embarrass himself in front of God and everybody.
Yeah. Because basically, like, it showed that at the time, every single thing he was saying in public, at the exact same time, he was writing the opposite of in his diary. So it's like
Absolutely.
that, and also this guy has a fucking like this guy is a fucking narcissist, right? He thinks like
Oh, clinical. This
yeah.
isn't the case. Like, for example, Poe has a really, really bad habit of calling everybody a narcissist that seems to be a little on the selfish side.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, hun, chill the fuck
Like,
out.
this guy has a giant a giant portrait of himself in his own house. Like that.
Yes.
Like, ladies, find yourself a man who loves you as much as Anthony Fauci loves Anthony Fauci.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Now,
I, I, why am I not surprised he is a narcissist?
well, it's not even just that. It's the fact that it's like, okay, like this guy, like his vanity will not allow him to expose himself
Yeah.
in public. His vanity is the reason why he pled the fifth. And because there's a few people who are like, oh, he's trying to cover for people, blah blah blah, so on. And it's like, no, people, this is vanity. This is the epitome of vanity on display for everybody.
Yeah, and for the record, just in case anyone doesn't know, because the reason he got, they managed to get a contempt of Congress charge against him was because you're allowed to plead the fifth in congressional testimony only if the testimony may incriminate you. And guess who got a fucking pardon for the last 20 years of everything he's done for the last 20 years? So you can't be incriminated by something that you got pardoned of. Meaning contempt of Congress, bitch.
Yep.
And another thing too, you talking about 20 years ago?
Yep.
Hell, he's been at this for longer than 20 years. Remember whenever the whole AIDS epidemic thing was going around?
No, okay, stunner. That's the point. Is now, see, there was a very interesting analysis somebody did, and I wish I could remember who it was off the top of my head, but somebody did a little bit of a breakdown. It's like, all right, so all of a sudden, the last fucking nine months of Biden's administration, there was a bunch of weird fucking moves. And all of a sudden, Biden puts on the MAGA hat. Why did Biden put on the Trump hat? Well, at the end of the day, I think it was a fucking signal. Like, hey, Don, I'm taking your deal. And what I think, and I'm gonna be completely fucking honest, I think the pardons were actually because the pardons were broad, but not too broad. Like, for example, in the case of Fauci, it covered the past 20 years. But the problem is he's been doing hinky shit for longer than 20 years. He can still be prosecuted on the shit he did 21 years ago.
Yes.
And so the interesting possibility is that what if the plan was to take all of these people who had a bunch of skeletons in the closet, fucking pardon their asses for predetermined time frames, and then get them in front of Congress over the course of the next 10, 15 years, and then just fucking burn them. Because they can't plead the fifth. Because then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're going to plead the fifth? Okay, cool. Contempt of Congress.
Yep.
And then they got him in a vice. Fauci's just the first one. I have no doubt that there's going to be hundreds of these fucking hearings where all of a sudden shit's going to get real hinky real fucking quick. It's like the situation with Rand Paul. Rand Paul, in my opinion, and now that I have a decent idea of the situation with Massey, I'm not going to say that Rand Paul is, the Cape Crusader that we need, not the Cape Crusader we want, but he's close enough for government work.
Mm-hmm.
Because that guy in particular, see, have you noticed how he stopped trying to act like his dad?
Mm-hmm.
He actually stopped trying to posture as the inheritor of the Ron Paul legacy, and he's now starting to posture as, I'm going to build my own legacy. And the reason why I say this is because what did Massey do that Rand refused to back him up?
I'm kind of fuzzy on that. What's the one thing that
Ending the
Rand
Fed.
wrote?
Ah, yes.
Ending the
Oh
Fed.
yeah. Oh shoot! If I remember correctly, didn't Tom Luongo mention that in the video you sent us?
Well, that's one of the things he mentioned. Yes, but that's the point. And mind you, I've had this identified for a while that Rand, I think, and this is just based on some supposition that I've seen, from what I've seen recently. I think Rand has been read in to a degree. Not totally read in. I think he got a visit from Stephen Miller, and Stephen Miller told him, hey, look, we got some shit coming down the pipe. We got some shit ready to fucking cook. You need to be on fucking game, and you need to do what you think is what we want. Don't think about what the fucking Lulberts want, because the Lulberts are just a bunch of Jacobin fucks. Don't be the next Thomas Massey. And the reason why that's important is I think that Rand Paul is setting up for what we're eventually going to call the Paul committees.
The what?
The Paul committee?
Paul committee.
As in the church committee?
Mm.
Oh.
Because Rand seems to be the one fucking spearheading this entire fucking initiative.
If I remember correctly, the church committee, wasn't that the one that kind of blew the whistle on some of the government's dirty laundry?
I think so.
Yes. So I'll just read it off for people, just so they have. The church committee, formerly the United States Senate Select Committee to study governmental operations with respect to intelligence activities, was a U.S. Senate Select Committee in 1975 that investigated abuses by the Central Intelligence Agency, National Security Agency, Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Internal Revenue Service. Chaired by Idaho Senator Frank Church, the committee was part of a series of investigations into intelligence abuses in 1975, dubbed the Year of Intelligence, including its House counterpart, the Pike Committee, and the Presidential Rockefeller Commission. The committee's efforts led to the establishment of the permanent U.S. Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. This is the committee that exposed or did the initial exposure of MKUltra, for example.
That's why it sounded familiar.
Yep.
Now, one of the key things to understand about that is that if we are going to see a massive push to start going after these people. See, here's the problem I have with a bunch of the fucking, well, let's call them lawbirds and let's call them fucking sundowners, because most of them are fucking sunbelters that, honestly speaking, are just fucking, they've got fucking, they're some of the most senile motherfuckers on the planet.
Yeah. You talk about like the stereotypical boomers and whatnot.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about people like fucking Steve Murray and all these other little sunbelter pieces of shit who are like, just arrest somebody. It's literally a case of like, oh hey, yeah, guys, guess what? You thought that this was gonna happen within fucking 6 months. Guess what? It takes fucking years to get these fucking committees put together. And you have to do it through the committees, because if you don't do it through the committees, then you're doing it outside the constitutional framework of the nation. And if you do it outside the constitutional framework of the nation, guess what happens?
It gets over.
You get your nut. Yeah. You lose everything that you fought the game for.
Exactly. So the simple fact is at the end of the day, it was going to take time. The time is now. Anthony Fauci is the big one. Because Fauci, and you notice how it's right before the fucking midterms that they're starting this.
Yep.
Fauci is now going to be forced to spill his fucking dirty laundry, or else he's going to get, because mind you, with a contempt of Congress charge, hold on.
Also, I do apologize. I'm trying to participate in this podcast, but the wife is also playing Helldivers 2 in the background.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Well, so I contempt of Congress is a federal misdemeanor punishable by imprisonment for not less than 1 month nor more than 12 months. So he could actually spend a year in fucking jail over this.
Yep.
Well,
The vanity of Anthony Fauci will not allow him to spend a fucking year in jail.
Yep.
Well, I have been seeing some posts on X, well, for what they're worth. And there's people on there predicting that he'll be spending at least 6 months in jail.
That could very well.
Well, they can. So here's the point: is he's got one opportunity after they pass down the contempt of Congress. He has one opportunity to come back in and say, "Okay, fine, I'll talk." If he does not take that opportunity, then he will spend time in jail. If he comes in and talks, they can stay the sentencing on the contempt of Congress charge. Now, the reason why this is important, by the way, is again, the vanity of Anthony Fauci will not allow him to spend a day in fucking jail. He cannot be brought that low. As a psychological profile, he cannot be brought to his knees in that way. So he would much rather fucking rat out everybody than spend a day in fucking jail.
Well, fitting you say that, since he looks like a fucking rat.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna say this right fucking now. The reason why he's gonna rat out everybody is that if he gets put in jail, he's dead.
Yeah.
Because that's the easiest place they can fucking get his ass.
Yeah, like how they did Epstein, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not alleged. We just don't know. We have a good idea what faction of the government fucking got rid of Epstein. We're just not sure who exactly.
Yeah.
Again, intelligence games are intelligence games. That's why you meet them with the barrel of a gun.
Correct.
All of a sudden they get real squirrely when all of a sudden a bunch of Marines are staring them down with barrels pointed at them. I wonder why. But the simple fact is that at the end of the day, he's gonna squawk like a fucking bird, and there's gonna be a bunch of people that burn within the former administration. Because once he squawks, then it's a domino effect. And he's going to have to squawk if he doesn't want to spend time in jail, which, again, from a psychological standpoint, this motherfucker ain't going to dare spend a day in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm very interested in is the continued building of the grand jury down in Florida. Have you guys heard about that? Because this happened a few weeks ago, but we've been kind of fucking busy, and I honestly completely fucking blanked on it.
I have not heard anything about any grand juries in Florida over the past couple of weeks.
I have.
Oh, you have? All right.
I have. Doesn't this have to do with the Fauci business?
Nope. Nothing at all.
Mm.
This is about Obama, bitches.
Oh, interesting.
Comey, I would say about a month ago, maybe a little more than that at this point. Comey was served a grand jury subpoena down in Florida. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brennan is soon after that. So you're talking about the potential that not just at the same time we catch people on Capitol Hill, we start catching people down in Florida for the shenanigans to do with Mar-a-Lago.
And for the audience, remind us, what was it that Comey did?
So it's not just one thing. Comey's involvement in the Russiagate scandal across the board, which again we've already established, Russiagate was completely fabricated. The Steele dossier was a complete fucking fabrication in order to build a case against Donald Trump in an attempt to discredit him in the eyes of the American people, which, by the way, I'm going to say this right fucking now, that blew back in their faces fucking hardcore because it actually endeared Trump to his core base on a higher level because his core base was like, oh yeah, they're taking their fucking shot at him. Now, what we would later find out, that's not the real shot. The real shot was at Butler, PA. But that's different.
Literally.
And they haven't stopped since.
No. Now, the reason why Comey is important is because if you're able to knock Comey, you can then go after Brennan. If you can knock Brennan, those two with their powers combined, that equals Obama.
Right.
And if you can knock Obama, who, by the way, just opened up his rather interestingly designed federal
fortress
communication center.
Oh yes, the brutalist one.
The command and command and control center that it is.
Oh, goddamn! I just thought about this. Forgive me. Are we talking about Obama's CP building?
His presidential library building.
The one that has a very interesting number of subfloors to it. That it's like, wonder what's under there.
Yeah.
But the point is at the end of the day, if you can knock Obama, that's it. Like literally at that point in time, it's like, oh, how deep can we fucking go?
Yeah.
Now,
I just thinking about this. Do you guys remember what Obama's Secret Service code name was?
No.
If I remember correctly, it was Renegade.
Yes.
So
if I remember correctly,
fitting
yes, it was
name.
Renegade. Yes.
So fitting nickname for him.
Now, what's interesting about this situation in and of itself, the whole possibility of us starting to catch bodies on Capitol Hill and then catching bodies down in Florida, is we're already catching bodies overseas. You look at the situation, and that's why I posted that that video of Tom with how the fuck do you say that guy's name again? I forget. Yeah, David Gornosky. I thought I had it right. By the way, I just want to point out that dude is the most bitch ass motherfucker on the planet. He cannot take heat. He cannot take criticism to save his fucking life. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
little David, guess what, bitch? You can't block me on fucking YouTube. So I can make fun of your fucking stupid ass whenever you fucking upload a fucking video that I'm actually gonna go ahead and fucking watch, because all your soy boy fucking friends, other than Tom, which I just want to, this is a message for fucking Tom. Fucking bravo. Fucking cock smacking the fuck out of that little bitch when he tried to fucking struggle session you. Bravo, good sir. Because holy shit, I'm sitting there and I was like, I feel like I'm in the middle of a DEI class right now. Like, holy fuck. Like, how bitch made of a fucking cunt do you have to be? Again, fucking libertarians and fucking all their Jacobin swilling fucking cunt bags, they all can fucking take a trip off the fucking pier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did notice that there were some moments between those two that did get a little spicy.
Well, for obvious fucking reasons, because fucking Gornosky, I'm sorry, he's a fucking Massey boy. He's a fucking he fucking likes to pretend that he fucking knows everything. And it's like, you don't know jack from dick, motherfucker. Like, frankly speaking, at this point in time, you're so far off kilter, along with all your little fucking retards, that it's like, I'm sorry, go fuck yourself. Like, nobody's fucking at all interested in hearing your bullshit. You want to whine and cry, oh my god, we killed schoolgirls. First off,
why did they put the elementary school right next to the fucking military base?
Yeah, well, no. Here's the fun part. Here's the fun part. Here's the thing. There's no confirmation on who. There was a post by the Iranians, literally the Iranians themselves, the Iranian fucking Ministry of Defense or whatever the fuck they are.
Mm-hmm.
Literally a post that they took responsibility for a failed fucking air defense interception attempt. And it was one of their fucking air defense missiles that fucking misfired and hit the school.
Interesting.
And again, there's no hard confirmation on whether or not the fucking actual school had anybody in it. This is the fucking problem I have with these people, is we don't know jack from dick when it comes to the actual fucking situation on the ground. All we know is these motherfuckers are farting in the wind at this point in time, trying to do anything to act as a fucking nuisance. And every time they fart in the wind, we fart right fucking back. And guess what, motherfucker? Ours are fucking nice and creamy.
Yeah.
There were several people who just cringed very hard at that, and I don't give a shit.
Every time they fart in the wind, when the wind turns back in their direction, we shart in their faces.
But the point is,
what was the thing from Monty Python's Holy Grail? I fart in your general direction.
Yes.
Well, shit, with how much of their country we fucking put under a black, a black knight, the fucking it has been in the general direction at this point in time.
Yep.
But no, the simple fact is at the end of the fucking day, like, I'm sorry, like, if you claim to have any corroborated evidence of what's happened on the ground, you don't know anything. You're just fucking posturing for the sake of fucking your morality. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Last time I checked, humanity literally is fucking a cunt hair away from civilized to full-on barbarian mode. 3 meals a fucking day, motherfucker. That's how close you are to watching humanity rip itself fucking apart every goddamn day.
Yep.
So why the fuck would you even consider trying to apply to employ your fucking morality in this situation? We are busy killing motherfuckers. Your morality, fucking take it the fuck outside.
Ideally, back behind the shed.
Well, frankly speaking, yes. But hey, I'll let them go ahead and go sit in the front yard and cry a little bit. Like, I'll let them have that.
Fair
All I
enough.
gotta say is whenever Varg mentioned the shed, day is never finished. Master got me working. Someday Master set me free.
But no, that's the thing, is at the end of the fucking day, you've got so many bodies that we're stacking overseas right now in terms of intelligence assets, in terms of military assets. Like, somebody finally fucking broke through with something, because I've seen some people, and and lots of credit to Tom, but the problem is that fucking, for some reason, people have this obstinance when it comes to Tom. I don't know why, but it's like, this motherfucker built the thesis that we're running off of right now across the board, and yet it's taking other people to say shit that is actually fucking getting through to certain people, and it's fucking retarded. But we are disarming the entire fucking world. We're getting regimes that shouldn't have large-scale fucking military capability to completely fucking waste their military capability on the vain attempt that they can actually do something. You have organizations like Lloyd's of London completely destroying their business in a vain attempt to create as much harm on the United States as possible. They've lost 30% of their fucking business so far. I don't know what to fucking tell you at that point in time. When you have 30% of your fucking business that redirects to the US, Russia, and China, that's a big fucking problem. When you controlled 90%.
Right.
Like, when you're talking that big of a shift in the market, how the fuck, you're never recovering from that. That's generational loss right there. So, at the end of the fucking day, we're stacking bodies, and this fucking midterms, we're just gonna stack more.
Yeah. Well, speaking of midterms, the Democrats have now nominated the first ever Jihadi Senate candidate.
Yeah, okay, so real quick, I need to back you up on that. So, yes, he won the nomination, but did you realize how close it was?
Yes, and if you look at the polls,
Oh, it was
yeah, it was like
it was single digit.
It was like, I think it was like 3 or 4 points. So every poll that had been taken since there was like showing it like 15-20 point margin win for him. He won by like 3. Basically an inverse Massey, if you will.
Thank you.
Well, here. Okay, so let me kind of run it by you a little bit. Where did Saeed do well?
College towns
If I remember
and
correct,
Dearborn and that other Hampstead or something.
Hamtramck.
Yeah, Hampstead.
Where did he not do good at?
Working class areas.
Not just working class areas. What specific working class areas?
I know he did not do well in the middle of Michigan. Like, there's a large stretch of Michigan that's like from the middle up and to the east that he really did not do well in. Oh, sorry, not east.
He didn't.
Up to the west.
You missed the target on that I was going for.
Oh.
He didn't do well with the blacks.
Ah, right. That is true. He did not.
The working class blacks completely rejected him.
Yeah.
Well, gee whiz,
Completely.
I wonder why.
Oh no! He when somebody broke it down by demographic, it would appear that he pulled maybe 2-3% of the black vote.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Yeah.
The guy's not gonna win
No.
because the black voters, if they're running at even a semi-competent Republican up there, which I don't know who the opponent's going to be. I haven't seen.
It's Mike Rogers, I think his name is.
Mike Rogers.
I think.
Oh, this guy. Okay. I will have to.
There doesn't seem to be anything objectionable about him at the moment.
Oh wait, is he the?
Oh, so he was. He
ran
he's last in 2024 as well, almost.
Yeah, he was the dude. He was the dude that ran against Slotkin. That's right. Now I remember who this is.
He lost by only 0.3%. So
yeah, there you go.
Can he do 0.3% better against an actual jihadist?
Well, seeing how the jihadi performed with the blacks are either the blacks are going to stay home or they're going to be like, you know what, vote for the white guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
if they have any sense of self-preservation, they will.
Well, mind you, and it's actually good that you say that, because that's exactly what it is. The black community up in Michigan does not like the Arab community whatsoever, because the Arabs have pushed like historically speaking, Dearborn, Michigan was a majority black town that.
Mm-hmm.
For all the faults of, the Michigan portion of the Rust Belt, blacks at least had a half decent life in that area.
Yep.
Whereas when the Arabs came in, the Arabs just completely pushed them out of Dearborn. Like when it comes to Dearborn, like the blacks were effectively just pushed out. And mind you, there's a very prominent school that is majority black right there in Dearborn. What is it?
What?
Come on, what is Dearborn? What is the most prominent landmark in Dearborn? Come on.
The most prominent landmark in Dearborn. Let's see.
Actually, since
it's not the OCP Tower.
Actually,
not even a titter on that one.
Just
God damn it, y'all!
It is a majority black school. I'm just gonna guess it's MLK Junior School. You probably have about a 50% chance of being right.
Come on, guys. Okay, so I just for the viewer's sake, I wanted to show that these guys have no fucking clue what they're talking about when it comes to Michigan.
Correct.
Let me show. The Henry Ford Academy.
Well, that at least
Yeah,
explains why
that's
it's not a
right.
majority Jewish school.
Good one.
Thanks.
Okay, I wasn't. I was. Fuck. I was not expecting that one. Was not expecting that one at fucking all.
Okay, I think I found a map on what we were talking about. Let me know if this is accurate or not, and if it's not, I'll try to find a better one.
No, that's a. I'm actually pretty sure that lines up exactly how I think it should line up. Hold on, let me hold on. Hold on. Where is Detroit?
Detroit is right there in Wayne County.
No, I often forget how far it is from Toledo to Detroit. It's actually decent. Jesus Christ, you don't really get a good appreciation of how built up this entire region is until you actually look at it.
Oh. Okay, Canton, Michigan. Major charter township in Wayne County, western suburb of Detroit, located roughly 23 miles west of downtown Detroit and 15 miles east of Ann Arbor.
Hey,
Population approximately 99,000.
Real quick. I just yeah, that map lines up about as I had expected, because it just lines up very well with the disposition of the city.
Okay, from what I can tell on Google, Canton is an affluent and upper middle class community with a median household income in excess of $100,000.
So it's a rich white people area, which is also the other demographic that did well, that the jihadists did well with.
Yep, 62.4%.
Yes, rich self-hating whites.
Oh, they're not self-hating. That's your first mistake.
If they're not self-hating, then why do they vote against their own survival and interest?
It's not about their own survival.
Then square that circle.
The Red-Green Alliance, good sir. The Red-Green Alliance.
I can't believe I forgot about that. Oh, and also, just in case our viewers missed it the last time, you know what? Screw it. Here. I sent it to Zay Zay last night, as she showed it on her stream. So there's a still of the Red Green Alliance.
Oh, by the way, I just want to point out something. What is the important thing about Dearborn when it comes to blacks specifically? This is just another thing.
They keep Alex Murphy busy.
No, it's called the Ford World. It's called the Ford World headquarters. Also, Dearborn is where Ford moved their operations after Detroit priced them out.
I mean, if people would just be real Zaytrain, good. We may have one now, but imagine it perfect.
Again, like literally the test track, like the Ford Museum, and then so the Henry Ford Museum, the Ford headquarters, the test track, and their one of their main fucking manufacturing facilities is literally all right there in the same block, effectively. Like, it's all right there. Like, actually, if I pull it up real quick. Yeah, it's it's the so literally, so you have the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation, which is right across from the Ford Experience Center. Then you have the Ford driving course that's right there. Then you have the world headquarters, which is literally like if you're standing in the parking lot to the Ford Museum, you literally turn around. There's the world headquarters right fucking there, and then on the other side is the product development center. And then you have basically Dearborn was their innovation hub, and then their main manufacturing. I forgot this. Their main manufacturing is it's on the road from Toledo to where is it again? Ford Flat Rock. It's literally at the interchange of or right before the interchange or right after the interchange, I should say, from State Route 85 and 75 going towards Detroit. Yeah, you have to understand, like, this is a very, very, very black working class fucking zone. Oh shit! Hell, you got the Ford complex right there on the other side of the fucking of 94 from the world headquarters as well. I completely forgot about that.
Mhm.
Like this is what people have to fucking understand, and this is why this guy is going to end up losing that Senate race, is because the blacks, they cannot tolerate somebody who is very obviously just going to fucking abuse the shit out of them. Because I'm sorry, they see, like, even though people want to be like, oh, the blacks are just retarded fucking monkeys and all that bullshit. It's like, motherfucker, they see what's happening in fucking Africa. They see what happens every fucking time one of these fucking Islamist groups fucking starts fucking getting rowdy. It's a bunch of fucking black people that start getting killed.
Yep.
It's a bunch of brown motherfuckers killing a bunch of black people. They don't want that shit here.
Yep.
And by the way, fucking, you're gonna have to censor that.
Fair enough.
Here's something else you're also going to have to censor. Okay, in Africa, I thought it was black Muslims killing other black Christians.
Not even
or
close.
anyone else.
Okay, so let me give you a rundown on a few of the conflicts that are going on. So let's start in Sudan. So Sudan, you have the conflict that's currently going on there. While some people might look black, they might not be necessarily black. They might be just really dark Bedouins.
Right.
Which, remember, there's a difference between a sub-Saharan and a Bedouin.
Yep.
And then you go off to, like, for example, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, Nigeria. You have a bunch of, again, Bedouins coming into sub-Saharan communities and then proceeding to kill motherfuckers. Mind you, most of these conflicts are not Muslim versus Christian. There's very few Muslim versus Christian conflicts in Africa overall. Nigeria happens to have one of them, but if you actually understand the nuances of the situation, it's not necessarily the fact that it's Muslim versus Christian. It's actually farmers versus herders. And I guess I'll kind of give a background to that as well here in a minute. But what you end up having is that you have a bunch of fucking jackasses, and this is what people need to understand, is there is basically a giant ethnic group of Bedouins that look slightly black, but they're not black, they're Bedouins that come out of the Sahara itself. You know, all these random little towns and villages that if you go on Google Maps and you see the little fucking polka dots all over the place, everybody's like, how is there a city or a village there? It's like, motherfucker, they're called oasis. It's called an oasis.
Right.
The fact of the matter is that these communities have existed here for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fucking years. And what you end up having as a result of this is a lot of these communities, you know, they might not be, you know, big, but they're all interconnected. And so what ends up happening is you have a bunch of these nomadic motherfuckers that get together, and most of them are Muslim, and then they start raiding into the African areas, which the Africans tend to be more settled than the Bedouins. And so you end up having a settled tribe versus a nomadic tribe situation. The problem is because the Bedouins look slightly black because of how dark their skin is, because they're from the fucking Sahara, everybody assumes that it's black on black. It's not. Now, Nigeria is a weird fucking situation. And mind you, when Trump made the comments he did about Nigeria, there was actually an underlying motive behind it. What he was trying to do was force a situation with Nigeria to get Nigeria to stay the fuck out of the situation in Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. Because Nigeria's been backing or elements in Nigeria have been backing Boko Haram. And they've been pushing against that in general. So you have to understand that there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of different players involved here. But the thing with Nigeria is that you have two distinct groups. I don't remember what the names of them are off the top of my head, but there's two groups. You have the farmers, who I'll be referring to as the farmers, who are predominantly Christian. They're not just Christian, but they're predominantly Christian. Then you have the herders, who tend to be predominantly Muslim. They're not all Muslim, but they tend to be predominantly Muslim. The problem is that the herders historically have had free grazing rights over much of the central region of Nigeria. And if you look at Nigeria and you look along the central region, you'll notice that there's a really nice fucking river that runs through the country.
Yeah.
Well, that's where all the farmers are. Ever since large-scale farming operations started cropping up in Nigeria. Yes, Marcy. They have had massive numbers of farmers start setting up operations along the river. Well, originally, the herders could move through the region, let their animals graze, and then let them water themselves on the river. That's not as much of a thing anymore because now they have to, or they're being forced to avoid the rivers or to avoid the farming communities because the farming communities are like, hey, your animals keep destroying our crops. And so now it's turned into open conflict between the farmers and the herders where they're basically being told, hey, you can't fucking come here anymore. And then there's shooting that starts. Now, the reason why everybody is like, oh, it's Muslims massacring Christians is because the farming communities are not militaristic. The herding community is incredibly militaristic because they have to be. You got motherfuckers trying to steal your fucking cattle and your fucking sheeps and your goats and shit like that. You have to know how to fucking use a gun. And because of the beef between the farmers and the herders, they've the herders have an obvious advantage because one, they're always on the move, and two, they have the fighting skills that the farmers don't. So that's the nuance of that situation. Just so it's a little more understood. Like, it isn't just Muslims, trying to genocide Christians. It's literally farmers and herders getting back and forth because, water and grazing.
Right.
It's more of a land dispute than anything. Very common in the Western United States, by the way. Yellowstone was a bit of a documentary, I'm just saying.
True.
If you think that shit doesn't happen in some capacity, you might be stupid. And mind you, I love seeing the comments every time I see a clip or a video from Yellowstone. I love the comments where people are like, "How do they commit all these felonies without getting caught?" Motherfucker, they have a designated dumping spot in Wyoming, specifically to keep the Wyoming authorities fucking from calling up the Montana authorities. Like, seriously? And you're in the middle of the fucking sticks. The wild animals alone will handle most corpses.
True.
Give me a few minutes. Let me handle, baby.
No worries.
Well, I hope everything's okay.
It probably is. Sometimes small children require attention.
I'm sorry, she is being an absolute butthead right now.
No worries.
No, well, that's a toddler for you. Oh,
No,
that's a baby for you.
Seriously, I'm sitting here trying to. Hold on, let me put my headphones back on. I'm sitting here trying to feed her. She's being an absolute butthead. At this point in time, I think she's gonna get some Tylenol, and I'm gonna go lay her down. So give me a minute.
No worries.
That's fine. Also, if you hear something in the background, that's probably going to be Pearl. She is demanding attention.
Understandable.
Pearl, be lucky you are cute. I was thinking about this earlier, but I really wasn't able to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think it's kind of odd now how it seems like the Democratic Party has completely, or at least pretty decent chunk of their base have started to support individuals like Mamdani and that Muslim guy from Detroit?
Yep. They are going full communist and full Islamist.
You know what's funny?
What?
Is if you remember, people like us have been saying for years that this is what was going to happen.
Yep.
But yet, when it's finally happened, the people on the Democrat side that aren't really for this are like, "Oh, how did this happen?"
Yep.
God, are they really that?
Yes, they are.
Hold on.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Just hold on a sec. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I got the perfect thing to describe these people. Yeah. All these Democrats that are like, how did this happen? Why are all the communists and everything taken over? I mean, people like us have been saying it was going to happen for years. And to the people that are like, how did this happen? Well, I'm just going to let Lumi say it for me.
Oh my god, he's retarded! Oh, he's so dumb! Good job, you are.
Oh lordy.
Good job, buddy. You're
Well, and here's
retarded.
okay. So here's the fucked up part about the whole situation with things as well. Let me give a example here. Oh, where is it? Fuck. All right, hold on. My shit fucking reloaded and lost it. Here we go. So we had the whole situation in Morocco, right?
Right.
Between Morocco and Spain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now we have this this chart that somebody made where, you know, it's literally the most brain dead fucking shit I've ever fucking seen.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, there are a bunch of fucking retards out there, you know, in reference to, you know, people being retarded. There are a bunch of retards out there that will look at this and take it seriously. Now, here's the thing about this different kind of shit. Is it's all intelligence ops. It's all an attempt to mire everybody in different bullshit in an attempt to hide and obfuscate what is really going on. And let's take it from the top. You look at the Strait of Hormuz is closed, and it's like, well, no, Lloyd's of London fucking canceled everybody's insurance, so all the ships stopped fucking moving because their insurance was all of a sudden canceled, and they were given no warning of this. Oh well, we need to see, you know, we need to see the fighting stop so we can reopen the strait. The strait's open. There's hundreds of ships transiting a week now, just like there were previously. There's not there hasn't been a decisive downtick in the number of ships actually transiting the strait for any significant amount of time. It's just you're not seeing the transits publicly because they're turning their fucking ABS systems off. Or yeah. You know, at the end of the fucking day, people are going, you know, there's going to be these different ops that are meant to obfuscate and try to conceal what's actually fucking happening. And it's like, okay, cool. Unfortunately for you, we're gonna parse through your bullshit and we're gonna get shit done. We're gonna get through and we're gonna do what we need to do and not give a fuck what you have to say because we're busy working.
Right.
But unfortunately, you know, there's still a bunch of retards that are gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's the Jews, it's this, it's that, and oh my god, why is he doing this?" You know, of course, there's always gonna be those fucking retards.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, those retards we do have to deal with. Unfortunately, that's the sad. That is the sad part about it. If you think about it, it's like, unfortunately, Darwin is looked down upon in all nations in the world, technically speaking.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, Nebraska is a big state.
Yes, thank God. Interesting.
Hmm?
Oh, it's almost like things are happening.
Once again, nothing ever happens, bro's hardest hit.
Apparently another. So if you guys haven't been aware, actually, I apologize because I haven't really focused on this too heavily. Have you guys been hearing about the different shit that's happening with businesses getting raided and whatnot in India?
is this relating to the student visa scams going on?
It's related to that, but it's also related to a bunch of other different illicit money flows
Yeah. So,
that are current.
I know I've heard just recently that at least back here in Soviet Kazakhstan, there are now like Indian organized crime rings operating all based around the student visa scams that are, sending millions of them up here. So I'd
Yep.
assume it would probably have something to do with those organized crime rings and their fake visa scams.
Oh, well, yeah, that's definitely a part of it. But no, you also have the fact that we're going after companies that are literally, they're just money laundering operations at the end of the day.
Ah.
And then we also have the what the offer's been made. And mind you, we flipped Turkey, for example. Turkey has now realized, like, oh shit, we got checkmated hard. Like, we're bogged down in northern Syria. We can't make any real progress in the fight. Then on top of that, our flank is currently being threatened by the Greeks. The lira, without a swap line from the U.S., is fucked. And now the U.S. is threatening to bomb the shit out of our currency. Fuck. What do we do? And then we told the Turks, hey, we don't want to fuck you up. We don't want to screw you. We just need you to stop being the little, the little bitch of the European Union. And then look how the Europeans fucking reacted to that. Well, then you look at India. The same offer's been made to India, and now India is being told, like, hey, we're gonna shut down the illicit money flows. We're gonna stop all the bullshit. We're gonna help invest into your guys' country so we can start getting you guys up to par where you should be. Because here's the thing: is that at the end of the fucking day, there's actually a lot of evidence showing that China has completely cooked the numbers when it comes to their population totals.
Yeah, sounds like something China would do.
The Indians, the Indians, they literally have the absolute insane number of people. They just have too many fucking people, in relation to the statements I made about Algeria the other day.
Yes.
There's too many fucking people. They don't have the ability to handle the number of people that they have. Well, what happens if the U.S. looks at them and says, "Hey, we can give you access to capital. We can do this. We can do that. We can get you guys producing and doing stuff in your country. All you have to do is help us shut down the illicit money flows." Now, in the case of Modi, is Modi the guy to do it? Maybe. But the fact of the matter is that I've seen videos, video after video after video of different ops where you got US guys leading the charge into these businesses in India, and the fucking the Indian police are right behind them. It's like, oh yeah, we're shutting this shit down. India took the deal.
That's good. Modi seems like he's generally on the right side of things.
Well, I think so. This is my take on it. I think Modi he was meant to be a steward, and then ended up getting forced into actually being a leader.
Oh, talking about Indian shit. I saw a video last night of, I forget what the name of the dude was, but he was climbing a literal mountain of trash in India.
Yeah.
Well, it's because India doesn't. They don't have the fucking infrastructure to handle. Okay, so here's the thing that really fucks me up about people when they comment about India. It's like, cool, you can make a statement. Do you know why?
All right.
You ask somebody why, and they have no fucking clue.
Doesn't it have to do with their culture?
It
No,
has to do
it's
with
not.
the amount of people produce trash. 1.3 billion people produces 1.3 billion people's worth of trash every day. Do they have the infrastructure built up to deal with 1.3 billion people 1.3 billion people's worth of trash per day? No. Hence the trash
even
piles
close.
up.
Yeah, not even close to it.
Yeah.
Look at what happens. Look at what happens to New York City every time the fucking trash service gets shut down for more than 3 days.
Or
look at what happens.
Yeah, or look at Portland, right? That city is filled with trash, right?
Yeah, Portland's bad.
Yeah, right.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's
What they only run their trash like each address in the city only gets their trash service like every 2.5 3 weeks or something like that. Like at this point in time in Portland, yeah. Like you gotta understand. Like at the end of the fucking day, you're talking about a nation that literally has too many fucking people to handle the problems that they're having.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not just cultural, because culturally speaking, if they were doing what they would normally fucking do, there would be massive burn pits.
Mm-hmm.
The government had to ban the burn pits because people were getting sick constantly.
Yes.
The smog, like if you go back to the 1990s, when burn pits were still fucking legal in India,
mm-hmm.
there were whole communities that were suffering debilitating lung issues, along with a myriad of other things because of the burn pits, because the only option they had was to burn everything.
Yeah, it's like there are at least 100 million, if not hundreds of millions, of people right now in India who shit on the street. And I know there's the street shitting meme, but who do so not because it's just a thing you do, but because they don't have plumbing or toilets or running water. Right? They live in villages in the middle of nowhere where they don't have water. And they don't have, the infrastructure that having, plumbing brings to. So yes, it kind of makes sense that shit piles up, no pun intended. And you have 100 million plus people who don't have access to toilets. Right, so shit and trash just keeps piling up.
And here's the thing is that, everybody likes to make fun of they build these public toilets in
India. Yeah, and then
in India.
And then people use them for they use them to wash dishes in, but they don't use the toilets. Yeah.
Well, no, not even that. Most of the places where they build these public toilets, because usually what they do is they go into a village and they build a six unit structure that's kind of imagine a public bathroom at a park or something like that. It's kind of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get turned into shrines by the village because it's oh my god, this is fucking brilliant, this is awesome, yada yada yada. The fact of the matter is that unfortunately, it's when you're talking about a country that has not had this infrastructure whatsoever for the majority of its development, especially modern development, what do you expect to happen? Seriously. They think it's awesome that they have it, but at the same time they feel bad using it because they're hey, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally the mentality of these people. It's weird to us because we're we grew up with toilets.
Yeah.
Whereas, go out west, for example, and start looking into some of the towns that didn't have public water. for a long time. And most people had outhouses and shit like that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, have y'all ever had to use a one hole or two hole privy before?
Thankfully, no.
Mm. Yeah, I remember back when not my grandparents, my great grandparents were alive. Their house was so old, it didn't have indoor plumbing.
Mm.
Well, and that's the point, is at the end of the day, when you're actually talking about India, you're talking a massive difference. You're talking a massive difference between like India is more in line with Western United States if you went back 50 years, 60 years. Like if you go back to the 1950s, 1940s to the Western United States, that's the position that India is in right now, infrastructure wise.
It was that undeveloped, like 50 or
Oh, dude,
70 years
dude,
ago?
I'm sorry. Like, a lot of people don't seem like okay, let me put it to you this way. What was the time frame between the American Revolution and the American Civil War?
About 80 years, I
See,
think. 90 years.
about 85-ish.
Yeah. There you go. Think about that. It was 85 fucking years between the American Revolution and the American Civil War. Or, as I like to call it, American Revolution Round 3.
Mm-hmm. What was round 2?
War of
The War of 1812.
Right.
But it starts to put in perspective, like, 80 years isn't that long of a fucking time, guys.
True.
It's not. It might feel like a lot because the average human only lives 80 years. But it's not a lot of time.
True.
At all. So, just in general, like, this is something that I think a lot of people don't seem to understand, is when you're comparing, like, and that it's actually a really good way to look at it, is mindset wise, a lot of people have this idea that everybody's supposed to be to our level, and it's like, guys, India is about 80 years behind us in terms of infrastructure, bare minimum. They didn't have Eisenhower, for example. Like, a lot of people don't realize this, the interstate system, like that brought most of the infrastructure to the West because the power lines follow the interstates.
Oh.
Now, not totally, but on a practical level, they do. So all of a sudden, towns that didn't have large-scale electrical access, all of a sudden did during the 50s and 60s. Now, imagine you went from having, a little bit of electricity to having a lot of electricity availability.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, a community is like, holy shit.
Yep.
You lived 20 minutes, 30 minutes outside of town. You didn't have electric, but you went into town, and all of a sudden there's fucking streetlights and shit everywhere.
I was just thinking about this. I think that out there in some of those reservations out west, that there's still parts where people don't have electricity and running water or indoor plumbing.
It's possible.
Yeah, I think there is.
Like, and again, it's one of those things where you start to actually get an idea, especially once you start thinking about it from the perspective of, like, again, you look at most of Africa, you look at most of South America, you look at, most of these places. South America is better off in general terms because they got out from under the European pressure a lot earlier than Africa and India and good chunks of Asia. But you look at fucking Japan. Like, what allowed Japan to really come out of its low infrastructure setting? It was the American occupation.
Right.
All
Mhm.
of a sudden we started helping them rebuild the nation. And
Yep. And before World War II, I think it was during the Meiji Restoration, I think is when it was when the country really started to modernize hardcore.
Yeah.
well, so the Meiji Restoration was a massive thing in terms of bringing the nation of Japan out of its feudal setting. The key difference is that you think, the Meiji Restoration took place
I think it was
Or-
No, this was during the 1800s.
the
It
late
was
1800s.
after the.
sorry, 18 would have been 1885, 1890, somewhere in that. Yeah,
around
some.
there.
Hold on.
All right. Well, so since we're talking about the Meiji Restoration, and Japan modernized, and I just wanted to say, God bless Commodore Perry. And for those of you who know, you know.
So the
The Meiji Restoration began on January 3rd, 1868.
Yes, but I'm talking about when it ended. Okay.
I think it ended in 1889.
Also sounds about right.
Yeah, 89. But the land reforms and several other things. So the full completion of the Meiji reforms is considered in 1914.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking about this. Do you guys remember the anime Rurouni Kenshin?
Of course.
That was set. That was set during the Meiji Restoration.
Yep.
Remind me. Give me an English name.
Samurai X was in English, I believe.
I have no idea.
Hold on, let me post.
Hold on.
All right,
Hold on.
Just
I'm
post
looking
a
it
picture
up.
of Kenshin, and if you recognize the face, that's where it's from. Very.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I recognize it. I never got into it, but I recognize it.
Fair enough.
But but no, like the whole thing at the end of the day, what you end up having as a result of, these different things is you have to understand, like, these policies, like the Meiji restoration and like all the work that was put in South America and so on and so forth. This brought those nations up to the standard that, like, the US was at that time period. Well, then the US went through the boom of the first half of the fucking, 1900s, and all of a sudden the US just fucking exponentially grows much faster and harder than anybody.
Yep.
Like, hell, look at Europe. Europe still can't fucking compare to the US.
True.
Like, they like to talk shit, like, oh, our trains. Motherfucker, like, y'all motherfuckers had to build those rail networks for war purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like, all these people who are like, oh, we have all these great passenger lines. Motherfuckers, those original lines were laid during the fucking war period of fucking 1914 to 1918. That's when most of those fucking lines were laid. Because they had to be able to move shit around. Like, most of those rail lines didn't fully go civilian, and hell, even to a degree, there's a shit ton of them are still under military auspices. Didn't go full civilian until fucking after the 70s, going into the 80s.
Interesting.
And it wasn't until the breakdown of the Soviet Union that you have the modern public rail transportation of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Because Europe was still on this massive war footing. So at the end of the fucking day, it's like, oh yeah, talk all your shit. Guess what? The U.S., if we wanted to, by the way, we don't want to, because frankly speaking, people are just sick and tired of fucking the whole discourse. Anyways, that people have literally gotten to the point where they're like, I'm so tired about hearing about these autistic fuckers and their trains that I don't want to see another train in my fucking life.
Yeah.
Like, that's how the discourse has affected the U.S. population. Like, that's how anti-train the U.S. population is at this point in time.
And again, it's kind of ridiculous because like the U.S. has a lot of trains. They have a lot of rail lines. They're just fucking freight, right?
That's what I was fixing to say. I was fixing to say the majority of our rail traffic is all freight. And the
Yeah.
one passenger rail line that we have, Amtrak, is so poorly run, I'd rather ride a fucking Greyhound as I had travel by a train.
Yeah. Like, take a look at this photo and tell me that the U.S. does not have a lot of trains or a lot of train lines. It fucking does.
Hell, there's a fucking railroad right outside my window.
Oh, dude, no. Okay, so just to put this map into perspective, a lot of people, like, for example, you know that line that runs through Los Angeles, from Los Angeles through the southeast and towards Kansas City?
Yeah.
You know that route right there?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
That route alone, the maintenance cost on that route is equal to what the Europeans pay in maintenance on their entire fucking rail network.
Mm-hmm.
Europeans, if you want to understand how fucking poor you are, we spend the same amount of money you do on your bullshit to maintain one section of our network because of how fucking hot it is.
Yeah.
And another thing, too, our rail lines, not only do they move freight, they also move our military equipment, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just that's just a benefit of an industrially based rail system.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the fucking day, like with how our rail system is set up, it's literally like 90% freight. And again, you have the Amtrak line that runs from Boston all the way down to I think it's Charleston is where it ends.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, give me a second. I'll get an Amtrak route.
I'm gonna see if I can pull up what's the net tonnage of the various freight lines in Europe. Because that one you mentioned that was going to Los Angeles, Kansas City, that has net tonnage per year of more than 100 fucking million tons of freight. So let's see how that compares to Europe.
Okay, I got the Amtrak map. And another thing, talking about trains and shit.
Mhm.
Whatever happened to that high-speed rail California was working on?
They didn't
And
build
remind me,
much of
how
it, and
long?
they spent billions of dollars and didn't build much, because California.
I'm starting to think that whole thing was just a scam for the politicians to skim money from.
Yep.
And also, speaking of Californian politicians, aren't they getting into some? Isn't Gavin Newsom kind of in deep shit with the president right now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no shit. He's okay. Actually, here's the funny part is, the heads we're taking on Capitol Hill, starting with Fauci. Gavin Newsom's on that list. The whole Pelosi family's on that list. Because here's the thing, and I want people to understand this. Donald Trump was selected for leadership back in the fucking 60s. Like there's a reason, like everybody first and foremost, the whole bone spur thing with him in Vietnam. One, bone spurs, they are in fact a disqualifying fucking thing. Like if you go into an army recruiter right now, go sign the paperwork, go to MEPS, or Marine Corps is MEPS. You go to MEPS and they do your physical and they're like, "Oh, you've got bone spurs." They will immediately fucking turn you away.
Yeah.
Because it can turn into a big fucking problem on a ruck.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing patrols, not something you can fucking have. Period in a story. And the surgery to fucking get bone spurs corrected, yeah, that's a fucking surgery. They go in and start grinding shit. And it fucking hurts. And you can't walk for a few fucking months.
Yeah.
So, across the board, I'm sorry, the whole bone spur thing, yeah, that's probably fucking true, to be completely fucking honest. Especially how the guy walks. If you notice, doesn't bend his knees much. That's a sign of bone spurs.
Makes sense.
But then on top of that, you look at his time in the military, because mind you, does anybody what did Trump do back in the 50s and 60s? Oh, that's right, he was in a fucking military academy.
Yep.
He was being groomed for leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing, given all the evidence we have at this point in time, that he was selected like, hey, you're going to be doing some shit.
Most likely.
Mm-hmm.
And so his ass got told, you ain't going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I managed to find it out. In total, the U.S. moves about 2.1 trillion ton kilometers of rail per year. So I assume that means how many? Yeah, 2.1 trillion ton kilometers. How much do you think the entirety of Europe does, if you had to guess, based on that number from the US?
Probably 20%.
I'm gonna be 15.
Both of you are wrong. It's 200 billion. So it's 10% of what the US does.
Jeez, well, at least I was closer.
Yeah. 200 billion ton kilometers versus 2 trillion ton kilometers per year. Oh, actually, just another. While we're on the topic, I'm gonna just post a picture of the three countries that that move the most freight by rail per year. I wonder if there would be any interesting I wonder if there would be any interesting surprises to come from that.
Almost It's almost like. Anyways, you gotta love the stupid bullshit that these people fucking. Again, it's hilarious from my perspective because it's like, oh hey, you think you're you're tough shit, you think you're top shit, you think you're the best of the best, and then all of a sudden you got us. It's like, get fucked, nerd.
Yep.
No. The Europeans, I guess they still think it's the 19th century and they still matter.
Yes. Also, funnily enough, since we were talking about it before, India is actually number 4. So India actually moves a fair amount of shit by rail as well. They're number 4 at 900 billion or 974 billion.
Makes
but
sense to me.
but there's also something else too about India. What's this? I've been hearing and stuff about how Indians like to get run over by trains.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So let me first and foremost, you remember that whole that big ass fucking public relations push that they did back in the late 90s, early 2000s about the dangers of, train tracks and trains here in the US?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah. India has attempted to do that on multiple occasions. The problem is that because the trains, so there aren't dedicated stations in a lot of places. Like the stations, basically the stations for trains are only located in the major cities. So a lot of the outlying communities, they don't have access to the trains naturally. And so you have a lot of people that just try to jump on the fucking trains to go into the cities and whatnot. And the problem is that, well, jumping onto a moving train is pretty fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
So yeah. The most common injury in train accidents in India is dismemberments.
Sounds about right.
Usually it's somebody losing a leg.
Yeah.
Like it's not, and again, it's like, mind you, and I wish India would rectify that, because they could rectify it very easily if they just built more stations. The problem is that, it's not like Japan, for example. Are you guys aware of the one passenger station?
Yes.
Okay, Stoner, are you aware of that?
Okay, can't say that I am.
All right, so just to explain, so there was a town in Japan where, as we all know, Japan has a massive population issue across the board, where they have not been able to correct their population growth. And South Korea finally went positive, fucking this year, or last year, I should say, going into this year. And then
Really?
Japan is on the cusp of being able to reverse it, but they still haven't gotten a full handle on it. Well, this is how much Japan values their fucking youth, to the point of an autistic fucking reverence. They had a train station for this town. It's just a small, like maybe 30-person fucking, pavilion style station where, you sit down on a fucking bench out in the open and you wait for the train to pull up, and it stops and lets people on.
Uh-huh.
This station only serviced one individual. And it was a high school student who or she started using the train in middle school, I should say. She started using the train in middle school, used it all the way up until she graduated from high school. That's when they finally shut down the train station.
Mhm.
They literally kept the train station open as a stop on the route because of this one fucking kid. Hold on. I hear baby. Hold on.
No worries.
Well, that was nice and considerate of them.
Yep.
All right. Sorry about that.
No worries.
But yes, so what you end up having with with that whole situation, and this is the funny part about it, is you got the stark contrast. You know, Japan keeping a fucking train station and a stop on the line open for a single fucking child, and then India, who can't be bothered to build more train stations, so they start preventing the number of people getting injured by trains as they try to jump aboard as the trains are going through their towns. Like that's how stupid it is.
Yeah.
Like, and mind you, this isn't, you know, again, a lot of reductionists would love to be like, oh, Indian people are just stupid. It's like, that's not what it is. Like,
They don't. They're poor. They don't have that much money. It costs money to build train stations.
well, it's not even that they're poor either. See, here's the fucked up part about this is a lot of people are like, oh, India's a poor country. No, it's fucking not. The problem is that it's the illegal money. The illegal money is what's preventing India from finally getting up and out of the rut that it's in. You know, a lot of people don't realize this, but do you know where a lot of the scam operations are actually moving to out of India?
Probably across the border into Pakistan.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No. Southeast Asia.
Interesting.
So the three hotspots are Burma, Malaysia, and Indonesia. Those are the three hotspots. Because the call centers can move into these places, be relatively sheltered because they can build facilities out in these bumfuck areas. They're not going to be frequently visited by the cops. They're not going to, you know, have to interact with the normal inspectors, et cetera, et cetera. And they can just run these operations. Like, there was one call center that I saw a fucking video done for where it's like a 500 person fucking call center. And it runs almost exclusively off fucking goddamn solar. And it is literally like a shit ton of people get bussed in to quote unquote work. They get paid pennies on the dollar. And then they get fucking shipped back to wherever the fuck they came from.
Yeah, those scam call centers, those things are they're more complex than what you think they'd be.
Oh, absolutely.
I've seen video clips of you know these hackers
Mm-hmm.
that go in and literally crash those call centers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen them like hack into like their web cameras and their security feeds and stuff like this. And Jesus, if you didn't know any better, you'd think it was a legitimate operation.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, in ways, it kind of is. Well, I mean, it's basically like a legitimate business, but it's just one that runs on, you know, scamming American rich Westerners out of their money. But yeah,
Well,
it functions like a business.
actually, do you know who the largest target of those scam centers are?
Elderly.
The
people in
elderly?
America?
No. Not even Americans.
Canadians?
Fucking Arabs.
Huh.
Yeah, they love targeting like the upper middle class Arabs because they can if they dress things up correctly, they can make it look like legitimate shit, and then all of a sudden, you know, they can suck, you know, 100, 200, 300,000 out of these guys.
That's
everybody wants to everybody wants to bitch about, oh, the rich are hoarding wealth. It's like, motherfucker, are you talking about the Arabs? Because they hoard wealth.
yes.
They hoard. They fucking hoard that shit. But no, like that's actually one of their main fucking targets is Arabs. Qatar, fucking Abu Dhabi, fucking Saudi Arabia, shit like that. Oh yeah. But no, like that's the whole thing is like at the end of the fucking day, you get rid of the illegal money trade in all of its forms or the majority of its forms because you're not going to get rid of all of it. But get rid of as much of the fraud as you can. Get India back to actually being a country rather than the pseudo criminal syndicate that it is right now. And then fucking, actually get it to the point where it's building again. Because again, like India hasn't been building since after the fucking Brits fucking left. The Brits literally left India in the most paralyzed state possible when they split Pakistan off.
It's almost as though they did that on purpose.
Oh, yeah, you don't say.
Yep.
No, that's the thing that a lot of people don't seem to understand either, is that, like, across the board, a lot of the shit that was done to kneecap India revolves around the split off of Pakistan. Because what people don't seem to understand, and this is the key problem, is that India and Pakistan, it was meant to be a continuous pressure point. Continuous. Always keep the Indians and the Pakis at each other's throats. Well, I've already talked to plenty of Indians about this. It's like you got to make a choice. Either you're either gonna get over it, you're gonna start working together, or you're gonna have to genocide each other. Period. Like those are your two options. Like,
And when you say genocide, let it be known that both Pakistan and India are nuclear powers. They have atomic weapons pointed at each other.
Yep.
well, and here's the thing that a lot of people don't seem to understand about that situation is as things have escalated time and time again, the Indians and the Pakis, like across the board, they're both terrified of fucking nuclear weapons. There's a reason why they refuse to fucking, like, you'll notice that they don't move their nuclear forces at all whenever they have conflict. They are terrified of the repercussions because India can survive.
Mm-hmm.
Pakistan can't. And this is the key thing, is India has the population, has the land. Hold on, guys.
All right.
Hey, check the side chat.
All right. Yeah, that's not going in the show.
Although, feel free to listen to it on your own time.
Yeah, no.
And guess who made that song?
Who?
A Marine.
Makes sense.
All right, so while I have a baby again in my arms, hopefully this results in her actually. Oh, child.
Ooh, Marcy sounds angry.
Mm-hmm.
I would like
Hold
to
on
inform.
a second.
I would like to inform everybody. Silencer Shop Foundation versus ATF Silencer Foundation. Silencer Shop Foundation won their case against the ATF.
Yes. I've heard that before, and now because of that, that's the one that now Palmetto State Armory is basically exempt from all NFA requirements now because of that lawsuit. I think.
Well, if it gets rid of,
So actually, to clarify, basically what what was ruled by the judge was that certain aspects of the NFA are unconstitutional, but it only applies to the active plaintiffs in the case. Meaning, if you're a member of the GOA, Gun Owners of America, one other gun organization whose name eludes me right now, or a customer of Palmetto State Armory, the NFA various NFA provisions now no longer apply to you, which I find kind of funny. But only for them at the moment.
well, come the 12th, if everything is handled by then, because basically the federal government has a chance to appeal, which I don't think they're going to. Then at that point in time, it applies across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Which, hey, I'll take it. I love it.
Yep.
Kyle, what are you doing? I had to make how I made the joke about our special guest.
Yep.
I think she got offended that I went and laid her down.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Anyways, I don't think I particularly have anything else to cover at this point in time.
Yeah, and I think we covered basically all the noteworthy things for this week. And it sounds like Mercy concurs. So with that, any objections to ending the show here?
No.
All right then. So
No.
then, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of this week's episode, and we shall see you all next week.
Ciao.